Yasus, kalispera. Good afternoon, my dear friends. I'm Elena, and you're watching Made with Yiayia. After many attempts to make this perfect recipe, I did it! It's a very delicious apple cheese Danish. We've tried it, we love it. Today, I'm gonna share it with you. I'm gonna go grab all my ingredients and let's get baking. Opa! With this delicious apple cream cheese Danish recipe, I'm going to show you gluten-free and our regular type. Now, the main thing that we need to start with is our apples. I cut up 4 apples to about the size of little squares, as you can see. We're going to add, I'm gonna put on my glasses here, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of room temperature butter, and nice burst of flavor also is our vanilla. So we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now I'm gonna go put that on my burner after I give it a little bit of a stir. As you can see, we've stirred everything together. You can hear that bit of a sizzle. Once you get a little bit of a boil on that, just a little bit of fluid that we have on the bottom, make sure it's all nicely mixed and incorporated. We're going to turn the temperature down to medium, and we're going to let this simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. In the meantime, let's go back and get our cream cheese mix ready. Now to start on our delicious cream cheese part. So for it, we're using 2 8-ounce or 250 gram bars of cream cheese that we've softened to room temperature. We are going to add to that 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 8 tablespoons of white sugar. We're going to mix it on a medium setting till it gets nice and creamy. So around halfway through, I want to give it a nice little scrape. Make sure we can get all that cream cheese nicely blended in with our vanilla and our sugar. So very simple ingredients, nothing too much. And 1 more, and we'll be ready to start working on the dough. And that's it. That's ready. I'm gonna give my apples a quick stir. They should be almost ready now. And let's get started putting this together. Now for our dough. In my search of gluten-free options, I came across this. Now, of course, this is where I live. It's President's Choice gluten-free pie crust, basically. And this is what I used when I made the actual cream cheese Danishes last time. So I'm gonna show you how I did it. I just basically cut this into 4. Like whatever gluten-free pie type shells you have in your area, definitely give it a try. It's nice to be able to enjoy different type of desserts with taking a few shortcuts. So I cut it into 4. I make it into a little ball. It's actually a nice, very soft dough. And then I just push it into a nice circle. So I'm going to make 4 gluten-free Danishes. There we go. Now when I put it in here, I have the parchment paper and I still put a little bit of spray on it so this doesn't stick. You raise it just a little bit the edges, just so everything kind of stays inside. So it becomes almost like a little cup, so to speak. So I'm just going to continue with the other ones. And there are our 4 gluten-free, the pastry part of our cream cheese Danish. Let's add the top of the ingredients now. So 1 nice full tablespoon of our delicious cream cheese on each one. Just kind of push it around a little bit. Look at that, so nice and creamy. The cheese, everything, the cream cheese incorporated very nice, so it's nice and smooth, but you want it to be thick. That's why we don't add too many things, just simple, right? The whole point is simple, yet still delicious. We're going to brush the outside a little bit with our egg wash, and it is 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water that we beat really, really well. So just the edges, whatever doesn't have cream cheese, don't worry if it gets on the actual parchment paper, it doesn't affect the actual Danish itself. I like to always do my gluten-free part of a dessert first. That way there's no, cross-contamination for those that have really severe gluten allergies. Now we're going to add our delicious apple mix. Look how beautiful that looks. The cinnamon, everything smells so good. So you're gonna put a good giant tablespoon in there too. And you want a little bit of the juices too. And just expand it there, put it all beautifully on top. Now I do have my oven preheating at 400 degrees. And we're going to cook them for 12 to 15 minutes. Look at how pretty they look. I like to put the timer on because, we can forget as we're doing things. So it's good to kind of have a base of the time that goes by. So I put it for 12 minutes. I'm gonna see how they look, and if they need a little bit more gluten-free, doughs tend to need a little more to cook in the oven than the other type of regular flour doughs. My shortcut for our regular Danishes, I guess call them, is our puffed pastry. Happens sometimes, they get nice and stuck. So what I'm going to do is get a new parchment paper. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on it, because obviously this will stick on me and it really sticks bad. There we go. Because it's so stuck together, like there's no way I can separate it. So I'm actually gonna roll it out completely to the size I need. And usually what we try to do is open it to about a 9 by 13 size. Again, anyone that follows me, it's not about doing anything, it doesn't have to be perfect. So just roll it out. I like putting the parchment paper because if it does stick right now a little bit, it's kind of easier to separate it when I do cut them into the pieces that I need. So now we're going to cut this first lengthwise, half. We're gonna go half again, this way, and one more time. So we're gonna make 8 pieces. we can kind of pull it a little bit and make it the shape you want. But what I do is I fold in the edges just a little bit, the corners, so I can create almost like a hexagon. I know this one was kind of triangle, so it won't be as pretty, but that's okay. It's still gonna taste amazing. There we go. I'll just fold the corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to apply our egg wash around the perimeter. Yeah, I know, kind of switching it up on this one. I realized I should have done it first. It's a lot easier if you're not hitting the cream cheese. Now we're gonna add our nice full tablespoon of our cream cheese. Dollop it right in the middle. These are kind of becoming our favorites. It's so light. I don't like things that are too sweet. So it's not like your typical Danish where it's, you know, overly sweet. It's just enough of sweetness. That's how I like my desserts. So when I'm fiddling and even trying something new, that's the first thing I kind of change is how much sugar goes into to my desserts. Because you don't need it to be overpowering the sweetness and then it's just too much. You don't completely enjoy it. It's too heavy for your stomach. But you can enjoy when it's just that perfect sweetness. So perfect timing. Our gluten-free ones should be ready. Oh no, see, I was right. We're gonna leave it for another. So our gluten-free ones need another 10 minutes or so. So I'm gonna leave that to continue to cook in the oven. Now let's add our delicious toppings here. So 4 of these I'm going to make with our delicious apples. You can make it even simpler by just opening a can of blueberry filling or cherry filling. And this is what we had done the first few times. Any of you that are following me on my Instagram, Made with Yiayia, will have noticed pictures of them in cherry and blueberry. So all you do, same thing, just add a nice full dollop of any flavor you like. So we'll do 2 of those and 2 of our blueberry. Got to squish this guy down a bit. There we go. And again, these are going to go in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. As soon as my gluten-free ones come out, I will put these in. As you can see, they're absolutely beautiful. Oh, some of my juices are running away from the apples. I will show you what they look like when they come out. So our delicious Danishes are out of the oven. I let them cool for a little bit. These are our gluten-free. As you can see, one is missing. It's already been tasted and I loved it. And these are our regular ones. And the reason there's only 4 of this is because one flipped when I was trying to take it out, so it wasn't too pretty. So now let's see which one I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll try this smaller apple one. As you can see, you know, it's not like perfect. The whole point is for them to be delicious and to enjoy them. So let's try this baby. Absolutely delicious. Perfect sweetness, perfect everything. The crust has a nice slight crunch to it. Please, my dear friends, give this a try. Your family will love them. I'm gonna go make some coffee and finish this up. Again, you've been watching Made with Yiayia, and I'm Elena. Opa!